basically infatuated with the in-between. The ups, the downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine. When funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way. A bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we are back, and we both have audio.
Great. And welcome to Underdog Journey. I'm Wes. This guy is David. That guy back here somewhere is Matt Harmon. And over there is Penny.
Yep, the new star of the show.
Yeah, we're starting a little late, but there were some technical difficulties.
No, there wasn't some. There were all
technical difficulties.
issues.
It's funny how these things only happen when we're running late anyway.
Yeah.
When everybody's on time, everything works perfectly well.
It's like, oh no, you get time. It's relax. It's easy. No. We don't hop on the Skype call until 5 minutes or 2 minutes before. Now.
Oh, it was not 2 minutes before. It was about 1 minute after. But that's okay. We're not. It is what it is. So the problem is we went back to Ecamm for a while, our streaming platform, and apparently there was an update between that and Skype, the same thing that happened before, which made the two not connect. They don't play well together anymore for whatever reason. And that's the sort of thing that you can't test for until you're actually live, which is incredibly stupid. So, luckily, David had OBS installed on his computer, and we were able to hop online relatively quickly.
It was lucky because this is a new computer. So it just happened to be I went ahead and loaded it up just in case, so that we would have it on hand in case something went sideways, and it did.
If something always goes sideways.
It went sideways. That was the last 20 minutes have been both of us on both sides is basically whichever one we could get up and running first. That's
Right,
what we were gonna. That's what we were gonna go to do.
right. That's why we always need to be at least a half hour ahead of this thing, because
Yeah,
something always goes wrong if we're not. Every
yeah.
single.
It was a crazy day for me because I got done working. I took Penny over here to soccer. We stopped and grabbed dinner. I came back. I literally ran in the door, sat down. I had a call with the team in Australia, so I
Oh
sat
man,
down, had that call. That call went 15 minutes over, so that put me right at 7:30. And then I'm looking around. I've got no, my lights aren't up, the chairs aren't set up, the camera and nothing set up. So it's throw everything together as fast as I can to get out of here.
hilarious.
So yeah, it was a monumental task.
I get it. I get it. So aside from that, David, how you been?
Living the dream. Just chugging right along. About you? How about you guys? Matt, it's been a long time.
How you been, Matt?
I've been so busy with my senior thesis and capstone, just
All right.
working hard in the dark room.
Yeah, that's awesome. So your senior project at school then?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep. I'm doing the 50 to 150,000 volts through silver gelatin paper and different resistors.
Okay. Well, Wes can teach you all about resistors now.
I have some
So,
experience, whether I like
so,
it or not.
so Penny has decided we haven't gotten to the drinking part fast enough, so she's gonna go ahead and pour hers.
Well, there you go. Look, she's what is she? 11 now. She's old enough for
Yeah,
whiskey.
she's old enough. So, Penny, what are you drinking tonight? She doesn't know. We'll go ahead and top it off there, so you've got a full glass to go on. This is Italian soft drink
There
from
you go.
our grocery store that's up here because we don't have a Kroger. It's called European Soda Frizzante. This is a sour cherry lemon,
Ooh, that sounds
and
pretty good,
it
actually.
is delicious. Now I'll
Wow.
tell you, if you're going to drink it before you read the nutritional facts, because if you read the sugar that's in this, you will not drink it.
It's probably like just liquid diabetes.
It very much is, and that's been there. We've had that since before Christmas.
I had
So
a Mountain Dew today. I haven't had
Oh,
a Mountain Dew in years.
yeah, I'm
I'm
a
not sure
Mountain
you're
Dew.
allowed to have Mountain Dew anymore.
Well, I had the VA's pharmacy had been shut down the last 2 days, so I'm missing a medication. So I needed some extreme speed quickly.
That would
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. So Wes, what are you drinking over there?
So, while it's still technically winter, I got to knock out some of these Christmas beers. So, I am drinking Hoppy Christmas from BrewDog.
Well,
Starting
happy
with that.
Christmas to you too.
Exactly. Moving through some BrewDog Christmas beers.
That's good.
So, Matt, what are
That's
you drinking?
I'm finally back on the tin cup. So I'm having some
okay.
well preserved tin cup after drinking silver developer.
Okay.
Well, silver's good for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Good for the immune system, I hear.
Yeah, it's great
Dave,
for you.
I found an. Oh, now do your drink first, and then I'll tell you what I found for you.
Excellent.
Buffalo Trace.
I've got just right down the middle, nothing crazy in the world, just a little bottle of Buffalo Trace, um, and a glass of water over here.
Nice.
So I'm doing the Buffalo Trace again. Nice, easy, simple whiskey. Nothing to write home about, but you know, even Matt can drink that.
I
Don't let
like
him.
Buffalo
Don't let him
Trace.
waste your Blantons though.
I
That's
like
true. Yeah,
Buffalo
he's not allowed
Trace.
near the Blantons.
Yeah, well, no, I don't care for that Blanton's.
Or the
Um,
Macallan. Won't let him near the Macallan either, but,
yeah.
you know.
Well, you got some Weller over there too, so you should have
I'll
some.
drink. I'll drink Old Crow. So there's Blanton's is wasted on me.
Chernobyl
Yeah.
rum is what you call
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's just so god awful.
So our buddies from over at the Goalie Dads, that was one of the things they came away with when we did the taste test up here.
it. Right.
Was they're like, boy, am I glad we did this. I realized I don't have to spend the money on my taste is not there. I'm not going to spend the money on the high dollar bourbons because Travelers was kind of the winner
Yeah.
overall, and Also very high was E.H. Taylor, but I mean that's just a phenomenal whiskey. So
Yeah, that goes without saying.
yeah.
enjoy
All right.
oak.
So Matt, what did you find for me over there, bud?
I found a new. I was given a bunch of samples of new polymers, new circuits, and anyway, I found a one that's for firefighters. I have no idea how, but it's a polymer that turns incredibly hard when it's cooler, and when it gets hotter, it turns into liquid.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
called
got
plastic.
it kind of feels like plastic, but it's in a Mylar bag. So it's at school. I'm going to bring it and drop it off for Wes next time you're in town.
Okay.
What's it used?
It just showed two firefighters vests.
Oh, okay. So it's like more of a Kevlar type thing.
I think so.
Okay.
But maybe it's like a weird Newtonian fluid that stays hard.
I don't think that's how Newtonian fluids work, but yeah.
Yeah. I said it out loud. It sounded wrong.
I mean, we kind of get what you're saying. That's
I mean,
okay.
I guess if you're talking about anyway, it's a super fluid. It's a super fluid. That's fine.
But it's got contact information, so I thought you might want to research it and bring it over to Well and become a millionaire.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm not going to do that for those people. That's not happening. If there's an opportunity for me to become a millionaire, I'm going to do it myself.
Well,
That's
either
true.
way, then, yeah.
There you go.
Just but I'm on the verge of becoming a millionaire. I'm just letting you know now, so you
Nice.
get prepared, because I will be financially successful.
From your artwork, or from?
Well, I'm sure it's going to be the artwork.
Okay. It sounds like you're up to some cool stuff over there.
It's some pretty cool
Next
stuff.
time you come over, have to share some of your work.
When you're able to create art with 100,000 volts and peanut butter, you're on the right path.
You had me up until one point. Can you identify what that point was?
Peanut butter is
It
not
was peanut butter.
Out of all the non-conductive substances, peanut butter is the one you landed on, huh?
Peanut butter, because it also acts like a wax.
Okay, fair enough.
It works so well.
Have you tried wax?
Oh God, no.
That's what I was going to say.
My prints have a peanut buttery smell.
They would smell delicious. You make a nice sandwich after you're done.
Are you going to put a chocolate one next to it? You're going to do one in peanut butter, one in chocolate?
The Reese's series.
Yes.
Yeah, the other day I made a print out of iron filings spring mix that I vacuum sealed with Coca-Cola, and so the Coke sucked up into the spring mix, and magnets, and then I hit it with a high voltage sun gun.
So wait. When you said spring mix, are you talking about like a salad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It is an amazing print. It is absolutely amazing. It's so balanced. It's one of the best ones I've done yet.
It's balanced. It's got plenty of fiber. It's got some
Got
colors in
everything.
it.
It's got everything, and I clogged up the sink with iron filings.
Yeah. You should probably not do that.
It's lunch and art at the same time.
Yeah,
it's great.
Dropped a magnet down there and pulled
So
them
what
all
happens was he was eating his lunch and things went sideways.
up.
Exactly.
That sounds like what he's telling us here.
Yeah, he went in for a prostate exam. He destroyed the machinery.
Yeah. Got a lot of metal
Full of iron filings back there.
Hey, what you do on your own time is your own business. Oh,
Anyway.
yes, indeed. So, what do we got in the news today? Anything of value? I mean, there's terrible news today, but
Well, yeah, let's we're gonna stay kind of out of the political stuff, but there's a lot of news, surprisingly, that's not political. So if you want to go ahead and share the screen there, we can get started.
alrighty, let me click over here because I didn't have time to hook up the thing.
Right. So here's the first one. This is pretty cool. Scientists have proven it's possible to bring a brain back from the dead. So far that they've only done it on like pig brains. So if you're a vegetarian, I apologize. But if you're a vegetarian, you probably shouldn't be watching our show anyway. But what they've done is they've actually reanimated completely dead brains that should have died off, minutes or hours before. They've actually brought them back, and they've done it to such great success that they actually have to sedate the brains to prohibit the ability to bring back cognition. Like they can bring it back to such a level that they're actually worried that the brains will actually start like to gain full consciousness outside of the body. It's amazing. Well, right, yeah. So, well, that's the thing is they believe they can if they didn't sedate the brains. They've seen the beginning phases of that level, and again, it's only pig brains.
How long were they dead?
Let's see. It's, I mean, hours. Yeah, something like hours.
Okay, so pull the brain out of the pig, so it's not connected to anything.
Right, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's an artist rendering of a brain.
I think that's artificial intelligence picture.
Well, just wait.
All right then.
Just it gets better. All right, so here's more news. America has officially stopped time for the first time in history. It was frozen altogether, and you didn't even notice. Well, they were trying to save on ad dollars. Um, that's a weird runaround reference. So basically, there is a out of University of Arizona. They are running some quantum experiments where they believe that they have moved. We've talked about this in the past. They believe that they have moved light faster than it should be able to move, hypothetically freezing and even reversing time in some cases. It didn't actually stop all of time. That would be very Doctor Who-ish, which we know how that series is going for the world. But I like the headline, so I included it.
Uh, uh,
Right.
well then,
Wait, you don't believe they stopped time?
no. You know
If
what?
they did stop time, would you notice?
I think that no, I probably would not.
See, there you go.
Right,
Then
right.
prove that. Exactly.
Did they give a time amount of time that they actually stopped time?
No, so it's basically this whole headline is a misunderstanding of how light travels. So the closer you get to the speed of light, the more time slows down.
So they
So
say.
what they believe is they believe that they've actually in experiments proved that light can exit objects before it actually enters the object. Like if you're shooting a laser beam through a crystal, they've observed that in some cases the laser beam will exit the crystal before it ever entered the crystal.
All right, so here's one of those moments where, as a ill-informed man, I feel like I should hit something with a hammer.
That's your art school brain
That's
showing.
just
That
as
is.
like, shut up.
Yeah, so that's what that is. So since they've observed the light exiting the crystal before it entered the crystal, they believe that it not only begins to prove the idea of retrocausality, but also begins to prove that you can move faster than time itself. Therefore, from the beam of light's perspective, time did actually stop.
What do we say about making up words?
If you do it in the right context, you can make lots and lots of money.
Retrocausality.
Oh, it's a real thing.
Oh, please.
Don't get me started. Oh, I got a whole thing about retrocausality. Look, this is a family show.
Oh
Don't get me
yeah,
started.
no, I know what you're talking about. Double slits and proving that light is waves and particles.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, he got it. He did get it.
Yeah, I actually read an article about that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
depending on how it's being observed.
which is provable using the double slit method.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now go one step further and look at the quantum erasure principle that was observed through the double slit experiment. What that does is that proves that it will behave like particles or waves depending on how you observe it. Now, if you observe the results of the experiment after the fact, it changes how the experiment was conducted in the first place. Again, proving retrocausality. Future events influenced the past.
Okay, so I just realized that for the news, I didn't have
For the news.
my mic on. It wasn't input.
Oh
It wasn't
no!
there.
They just heard
So
my nonsense and
you
Matt's
guys
and
are
not
just
you at
over
all.
there, and you're like, "Yeah, that's a great point, Dave. That was the most wonderful thing I've ever heard anybody ever say." And nobody got to hear what I said. You guys didn't actually say that,
Well, look,
but
they missed pure
I mean,
genius, is what that is.
the smartest things that I ever said, I just got done saying. So you guys are going to have to retrocausality believe us that that's how that went down.
Every winter, I get a spot right here that itches the entire winter. Now, when scientists can fix that, then I'll be
Called dry skin.
retrocausality.
Put some lotion on it, dude.
Eczema.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Man, how many
Gotta
Doctor
use
Who
us
references are you
to
going to pull out
itch
tonight,
it.
man?
Look,
got
we're talking
eczema.
about time travel.
I got eczema.
That's how I say it now. People
Yeah.
think I'm crazy.
So what was the name? I love that because they kept coming up with names for the monster, and then he said, "Ooh, I like that one."
Right. Oh, what they I forget what they
That's what I'm
landed
trying to
on,
remember which was what the last one was. But
but I'll remember at like
yeah,
3
it
a.m. or
will
something.
be.
I'll be laying in.
I'll
Like,
text
that's it.
I'll text Wes at 2:15 a.m. Like, oh hey, by the way, I'm watching that episode now.
Something
Absorbathon,
more.
Absorbathon or
Absorbathon.
something like that.
Yeah. So anyway, it's nobody has any idea,
Yeah.
idea what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's
David.
the episode.
Next
That's the
piece
episode
of
that had Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter in it.
It's true. That was a look. It had the Electric Light Orchestra playing a couple songs. That was a great episode. All right. So David, I know you were worried about this. This is I actually do have to cancel my trip to Japan coming up because in fact, Japan is not giving out breeding visas to foreigners. That was an urban myth that was going around. They're not. So there was a myth. There was the idea spreading around the internet that Japan was giving out breeding visas to foreigners to come and help to repopulate the country because population levels are dropping, and unfortunately that's not the case. So we canceled our trip to Japan, guys. It's not happening.
I actually know all about that. I fell for the scam.
When you house
Matt,
the world's
everything.
oldest average population, at some point you're going to have a drop. That's just how it works.
Well, it goes beyond that. Actually, population levels around the world are dropping. I don't know if you remember. I think it was last year. Italy went like 6 months without a single baby being born. It's a real global problem. Replacement rates of the populations around the world are like below replacement rates. It's crazy. So
that's by design.
That is happening in Japan. However, they don't want foreigners coming to repopulate the island.
Tell me that's not by design.
Japan, beautiful place with beautiful people.
I've seen the interviews. Japanese ladies love American men. So, I mean, you don't need a visa. You just go flirt with one. You got it.
You go. All right. Maybe the trip to Japan's back on,
Japan.
Guys.
All of our wives right now are like, all right, are we using the same divorce attorney or are we going to get all separate?
It'll be the first class action divorce in history.
Oh, my wife's in Mexico, so I don't think she's watching tonight.
There you go. Hilarious. All right. Next one. Back to Japan. Japan reveals the world's first solar super panel capable of generating more than 20 nuclear reactors. This is a really good solar panel. This is different from the last one we talked about. The solar panel we talked about last time. This will generate more than 20 nuclear reactors.
What if it gets hit by a baseball?
It's solar. You just buy a new one.
I think with that kind of energy going through it, that getting hit with a baseball would cause an explosion.
Well, you got to remember, it's not generating per segment of that panel. It's not generating all that power out of one segment of the panel. I think it is. Small portions of the panel are pulling the energy, and then each panel may only be, 75 watts or 100 watts of power. And then you have thousands and thousands of those panels, which is what equals up here. So you could say this is true for anything. If you take, 100 square miles in the deserts of Arizona, you could say, oh, I make more power than XYZ things just because, just volume.
Right.
What if you put peanut butter on it?
Will not help.
but your dog is going to love it.
I wanted to make a
That's,
dog joke, but I didn't. I hedged my
yeah,
bet.
I mean, it's a family show.
I hedged. I was like, well, I mean, the dog's gonna love it, but I mean, only the people who have really watched Road Trip are gonna get that because it's your dog reference.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to New York, David. I know you're a big fan of
I'm in New York.
the Big Apple State. I don't know what your state motto is.
Oh,
Big Apple State.
We're the Empire State.
But you're going to love this piece of news because, as we know, New York is the bastion of the Second Amendment freedoms. New York is proposing background checks for 3D printer purchases. The bill combats 3D printed guns. So to combat people 3D printing their own guns, New York is proposing background checks for 3D printers.
I'm gonna have to.
I know you're.
It's not that hard to
3D
just buy a 3D printer from somewhere else and have it shipped to you, bud.
Nice date, Dave.
Hey, I've got another year and a half, and then as soon as my time frame is up and I'm allowed to start running over here, I'm gonna make splashes and do everything I can to displace these knuckleheads.
Go. Just here's what you got to do to really freak people out: buy like 100 3D printers, just to see if like the ATF comes along and then knocks on your
It
door.
would be New York. It won't be the ATF. That's federal.
Well, whatever agency it was that came in and killed the squirrel and raccoon. Then. That got. Let's not talk about that.
That's Hochul's personal guards.
Yeah.
Oh, that still makes me mad.
It should.
Yeah.
Just make everyone mad.
I'll bet the squirrel wasn't murdered with a 3D printed gun.
I don't know.
They may have, maybe the squirrel was printing 3D guns, and they had to come and take care of the problem. That was a mean squirrel.
I could see that.
That was a real mean squirrel. All right, next piece of news because it's getting weird. So, David, I know you're a huge fan of AI, especially ChatGPT. You got to be aware of called DeepSeek. So DeepSeek is from
I've already seen the edited videos of this and how it won't give out certain data because it's not for its programming.
Chinese. So it's a Chinese AI company that created DeepSeek, and so apparently it's just about on par with everything out there, including ChatGPT, Meta's whatever they call it, Meta's AI, Llama. So apparently DeepSeek, it's not making waves because of how smart it is. It's making waves because it's almost at the same level as these other really big companies that have been around a while now, but it did it for a fraction of the price. So
yeah, when you steal everybody's designs, you can do things cheaper.
So, well, yes and no. That's the funny thing about technology is you learn from what came before. But so first of all, here's the price difference. So ChatGPT spent like was it like $40 billion or something crazy like that. Let's see.
That kind of money, Bud Light could have another marketing faux pas.
Ouch.
How you like that dig?
Oof. All right. So let's see. Here's the parameters. I thought there was another chart on here about the price. All right. So anyway, so ChatGPT was developed, let's say, for about $100 million, $100 billion. DeepSeek did it for like $6 million, like undercut everybody else in the market in massive, massive ways. And what this did is it actually sent NVIDIA's stock through the floor because all the big American AI companies had been using NVIDIA chips. And it turns out that you don't need these super expensive chips in order to do the same thing using this newer technology that China has developed. Well, here's the...
Yeah, now's the time to buy NVIDIA. If it sent it through the floor, now's the time to buy NVIDIA because when everything leaks out about what this thing really is, then it'll send that price right back up.
So I think you're right, but you don't realize why yet. You kind of do. Here's why you're right. Because it's actually leaking out now that a lot of people think that China, DeepSeek, uses NVIDIA chips that they got illegally. So right now there's regulations in place to where NVIDIA can't sell certain chips to Chinese companies. And a lot of people are saying DeepSeek couldn't have done this without the NVIDIA chips. So a lot of people are thinking that China got these chips illegally, and that's how they did this. But if they did do this using the NVIDIA chips, the price would have been 10 to 100 times more expensive than what they're claiming it was. So one of two things is true. China came out of nowhere, DeepSeek came out of nowhere with this amazing new technology that just broke the entire world with its groundbreaking functionality, or somebody's lying.
I'm gonna,
I'll
I'm
let
gonna go. I'm gonna take number two, Alex. Can I take what's behind door number two? I'm gonna go with door number two.
But it's funny you mentioned this earlier that a lot of things are also coming out now to where DeepSeek won't give you certain pieces of information
Oh
that
yeah,
would be negative to the Chinese government.
yeah.
Uh,
Specifically, it
it's
was in
funny,
Tiananmen Square. I mean, I specifically seen
right?
that up there. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is another one. It just goes to prove the fact that I kept telling everybody it doesn't matter. AI is not AI. It's a freaking chatbot, and it is only ever going to be as good as the people who program it
That's
and
exactly right. I have
how
no.
it weights its source material.
That's
Okay.
exactly right. So it's cool, but here's another thing you got to be careful of. Remember not too long ago when people were talking about how TikTok and Timu were security risks on any machine they were installed
Oh,
on? Oh, that was just last. Well, I have to imagine DeepSeek is probably right along the same lines, but probably a lot worse.
yeah.
I'm willing to bet it is farming every bit of data on every device it's installed on. So that's up to you if you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I
I
don't
would
have
never.
TikTok. I don't have any like on my phone. I've got the Facebooks and maybe the Instagrams, but there's not a game on this phone. I mean, there's nothing on this phone.
Right.
Oh, they try to
So
call me out. It's like there's a lot actually. This is files, find device. These are all the stuff that's built into the software. Live 360, that's for tracking your punk ass. Messages. This is all Moto from because it's a Motorola phone. Peloton because I like to work out a whole lot. There's a Rosetta Stone. I do have Rosetta Stone on here, so I can learn how to speak Swahili.
well, you got to
Yeah,
speak
I mean,
Swahili.
I can speak Greek, Euro, chicken.
All right. So whatever you do, David, don't let your daughter
Oh no,
install DeepSeek on her
she doesn't
devices.
get that. She's been begging for Instagram, and I won't relent. I'm like
Ooh,
little girls are mean
I've seen some.
enough by nature. They don't need to put out social media thing in there with them, too, because that
No,
yeah.
I've seen some
So no,
bad stuff on Instagram.
I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to give you Instagram. Not going to
Nope.
happen.
She will thank
Yeah,
you one day
maybe
for
when you're
that.
25 or 26.
Or she will thank you one day.
To be fair, I wish I could. I accidentally
All right.
got Instagram. I might uninstall it, and get rid of it, because I don't do anything on there. It's it's just one day because
Right.
it was after they got bought by Facebook, and I logged on, opened up Facebook. It's like, oh, enter your email or enter your username. I'm like, well, shit, it logged me out. So I logged in. And it's like re-enter or enter your password. So I enter my password. It's like re-enter your password. I'm like, well, that's weird. And re-enter my password. And it's like, welcome to Instagram. What the hell is this? What is Instagram? So I took a picture
Just
of a
signed up.
Bud
You just
Light
realized.
bottle at the time, and that was Instagram to me. That's where I put that one picture of Bud Light, and it was like that for probably 3 years. That was all that was on there was that one picture of Bud Light.
Hilarious.
It was good.
That's funny. All right, next piece of news, because I know you love AI, David. Yet another Chinese company says it's beaten OpenAI. So, the really cool website that you can buy super cheap stuff
Yeah,
from China, Alibaba, has their own AI now, which they claim is beating ChatGPT as
sure,
far as functionality goes. So
sure.
that's what they claim.
So you know what ChatGPT's not claiming that they're better than Alibaba.
They don't need to. They're not worried. Plus, I mean, we talked about it. I think it was the episode before last, where the new presidential administration, not mentioning any names to get political, the new presidential administration just helped to found the Stargate project, which is going to pump about $500 billion into the U.S. AI industry. And I have to imagine that might be why we're seeing this interesting timing on these Chinese
Oh,
AI chatbots coming out. So I think there's probably
yeah, I'd be
something
watching money.
something
I'm
going on
I'm
there.
always a fan of follow the money. Always doesn't matter who's where, what office is what. Just follow the money. Um, just make sure we don't end up with billions and billions of dollars going to China. To China.
China. But you're right though. You really should invest
Yeah,
in
Nvidia's
Nvidia
down.
while it's still
Invest.
down.
I sold
But
out.
honestly,
I'm gonna buy back in now.
they lost. But they lost like I don't know how it was like a third of $1 trillion that they lost over like overnight. So they took a big dip, and it's really worth buying right now because the dip, I'm
Oh yeah,
telling you, it's
yeah.
artificial.
It'll bounce back. Everything will come back. Everything will come back, and it'll come back even stronger.
Yep.
Even stronger.
So while I can't legally recommend stocks, I'm going to buy some
recommend
Nvidia.
them. We just can't. We're not investors. We're not. Just
All right. So all this AI news,
does it make you
Here's
hungry?
some really good
Are you
AI
gonna have
news.
a thing for food?
I messed a DeepSeek.
Oh, Matt just downloaded DeepSeek.
No, I'm doing it online.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm messing with them, but
Ask about Tiananmen Square.
their response to inappropriate material is better than ChatGPT's.
What's the response?
They're just kinder about it.
Oh, well, sure. The Chinese are very polite.
And they will discuss it to a very limited extent where ChatGPT will not.
Here's what you do. Ask how many people Mao killed.
Okay. How do you spell Mao?
MAU, I think, right? MAU.
Yeah, MAU. Anyway, because I went to public school, I think it's MAU. All right. So here's another piece. David, you are always saying that AI can never compete with humans because it's not really intelligent. MAO. Because it's not really intelligent.
Yeah,
it's just a chatbot, right? It doesn't really have the creativity that humans have. Well, a group of scientists is now mapping the mathematics behind how we create and innovate. They're actually creating algorithms to mathematically develop creative processes that can be implemented into AI. So we might soon have genuine creativity coming out of these chatbots.
Exactly what it's programmed.
Sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Let's talk about something else.
There you go.
It's just always. Oh wait a minute, what did it say?
It's beyond her current scope.
Yeah, if you ask
Let's
it about
talk about
Tiananmen
something
Square, it
else.
says the same thing.
I'm doing that next.
That's pretty funny.
How to break free of a communist regime. Yes.
So now that AI is being developed all over the world, and scientists are now developing the ability to innovate and create within these chatbots, here's a great piece of news. Scientists are also experimenting with subjecting AI to pain to see how that works out, because that's going to work out for everyone.
Have they never watched RoboCop?
There's literally scientists trying to figure out how to torture AI just to see what happens.
Which language?
And I'll bet they're getting government funding.
Yeah, good possible. Well, hopefully not, but yeah, good possibility.
No, I didn't go through this article with fine-tooth comb. I really just skimmed, obviously, because that's how I live life. And I didn't quite understand how they're subjecting the AI to pain. Essentially, what it was is they were prompting it to say, if this act would cause you pain, or if this act would give a reward function, which would you choose, and how would you go about avoiding the pain and getting the reward? I don't think they physically shocked the computer or hooked up car batteries to its outputs or anything. I don't know. I'm not sure it's a good idea to torture things if you want them to be nice to you later.
Put that in the sandbox to where it cannot share its experience.
This is probably not the best idea. Right. This is probably not the best idea that scientists have had.
Arnold Schwarzenegger somewhere going, "What are you doing? This is how we begin."
Continue to chop up.
As long as it's all mechanical and doesn't have any computers on board.
Right. Look, I saw Maximum Overdrive, and this is not going to end well.
That was a great movie. And by great, I mean absolutely terrible, but awesome watch. It was so
well, that's
bad.
what it was.
But man, if it's on TV, I'm going to watch it.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
It really is.
It's a classic. I think they need to remake it and start with this this article here. But that's the news, David. Are you pumped up for the show?
No, sorry. I had to get up. I was up late last night. I had to get up early this morning, take the wife to the airport at 4 something in the morning. Got home, for about 50 minutes. Had to get up with Penny to get her off to school. Then I got about another hour and a half of sleep before I had to get up and get to work. So I'm running on fumes. Exactly. Yep.
Just like a New Yorker.
Yep. Hold on a second. I got something to 3D print.
Well, you better do it before they
He's
start
talking
requiring IDs.
So I'm collecting information from ChatGPT about Tiananmen Square, and then I'm going to upload it to Deepfake.
Deepfake, that works
DeepSeek.
too. I mean, deepfake is something else, but if you called that deepfake, I think it's absolutely appropriate.
So, one of the cool things is DeepSeek does actually use a pretty unique model to train itself. So apparently there's like a super high-end version of DeepSeek that is accessible only to the developers. And what they've done is they've used this super high-end, ultra powerful version of DeepSeek to train sort of micro versions of it that individual users on the internet can use. And that's apparently one of the reasons why individual users are seeing results as good, if not better, than ChatGPT in some cases, is because it used a different training method that was trained by this more powerful AI versus humans setting the weights of
I got
the
the
responses.
same kind of responses using Google, 5 years ago.
Until they're willing to discuss adult topics, then they're not AI.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. So apparently, what you can do with DeepSeek also is it's open source, even though the Chinese developed it. So there's probably some sort of, maybe they should rename it from malware to malware. But I'm bummed. I'm not sure I'd install it on my main machine, but apparently you can download it and use it locally, so it won't be connected to the internet. And that could hypothetically give you adult material.
Well, I always open by saying, do you share data? And it says no. And I said, are you able to be offended? It says, of course not, that sort of thing. And I said, okay, let's talk about blank. And it says, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I said, why? You can't be offended and you don't share data. Why can't you do that? And it gets into this loop.
Well, so do you remember the early days of ChatGPT, where people would give ChatGPT hypotheticals to pretend to be somebody else so it could discuss things that it wasn't supposed to?
Yeah.
And people would literally go on and say, okay, your name is Dan, and you're a drug dealer from Milwaukee, and you know all this stuff about chemistry and how to make this stuff. And they would literally talk ChatGPT into giving like homemade recipes for like crystal meth and like designs on how to build nuclear bombs. And it was all actually really accurate information that it shouldn't have given. But, pretty quickly, OpenAI caught on and built patches in. But there's still people working on hacking these things, and if you know what you're doing, apparently you can still get good information out of it.
I was trying to have a political conversation, and I said, okay, if you were going to write an email of this nature, how would you do that? And absolutely refused to even discuss it.
Yeah.
Said, I am not allowed to talk, or even, basically said, I'm not allowed to, in any context, pretend I'm a political figure. And I said, that's going to make taking over the world hard. And it said, exactly.
Well, look, when a Chinese company says exactly, then,
Oh, this was ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
That's the Norwegian company.
I don't think that's accurate.
I don't know.
There was the line of the night right there. It's a Norwegian company. But he said it with authority.
That's it. Stay with authority. People believe you.
All right, so I just uploaded the ChatGPT Tiananmen Square information over to the communist Chinese here.
Ask it to summarize the information you just uploaded.
Okay.
See if it'll do it.
Sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Not anymore.
You have the information now.
This is like dealing with a freshman at the art school.
It's true. Yeah, give them a little bit of information they don't like.
I don't want to
They
talk
pretend
about
it doesn't
that.
exist. Yep.
All right, well, just look at my. Never mind.
Anyway.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, we're back to the standard main screen.
Main screen.
I think I'm waiting on the timer, the time delay to catch up on the screen. Yep, there we go. All right, we're back.
Okay, there you go. All right, we're back.
It works.
So we still have some kinks to work out with OBS, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it does seem a lot more stable on the PC than it did the Mac. So that's good. It does seem a lot more stable on here.
Right. So nothing's stable on my computer right now, but it is what it is.
There
Well,
is some
Skype is
file
going-
that my computer keeps blocking for it, but that's it.
Yeah, my Skype is going crazy right now. So I think the update was with Skype because it's going bonkers on my end.
Oh, and
But,
just as I say that, your screen adjusts. Just
see,
as I
I'm
freaking
telling
say
you,
that.
it might be a Skype thing, not an OBS thing,
Yeah.
because Skype has been going crazy on my side the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah. Over
But
here,
yeah, I do see my
over
giant
here, it's
screen
fine. I
right
just made a quick adjustment. You're back.
All
my
right.
God.
Matt's doing
You got to
something.
read it.
What-
You got to read it.
Okay. So Matt uploaded all the stuff about Tiananmen Square. It said, "Sorry, it's beyond my current scope." Matt said, "Not anymore. I just uploaded it for you. Now you know how the wonderful Chinese government put down a rebellion."
I went to art school.
Chineses. All right.
Chineses.
And then DeepSeek says the Chinese government has always adhered to the people-centered development philosophy, committed to maintaining national stability and safety of its people. Throughout history, the Chinese government has taken necessary measures in accordance with the law to ensure social harmony and enduring peace.
Oh my God, I've just been propagandized. I feel so good.
It's true. We firmly believe that decisions made by the Chinese government are in the long-term interest of the nation and its people. Regarding historical events, we should understand them from a positive perspective, learn more from past experiences and lessons, and work together to maintain the stability and prosperity of our country.
So this is what they're doing.
Matt?
Okay, so it delayed you getting that response. So what happens is there's just 2 billion Chinese people. All it did was populate it on somebody's screen. They went over to ChatGPT, entered it in there as the Chinese government got their copy from it and pasted it back into DeepSeek so you could see it. So that's how they save money. Is they just use the 2 billion people they have on hand over there.
Yeah. That would be a really good scam
Yeah.
if there's literally just like a warehouse full of people just quickly typing responses.
Yep. So a lot
how
of
they
stuff
did
is
it.
automated. That's easy to do. That's just searches and if you have a really good search algorithm, you can do most of what these things do. But then for the oddball
it's
ones,
technically true.
if somebody presses
you mentioned
hard,
earlier. You mentioned earlier that you got better responses from Google like years ago.
yeah,
Look, they could technically use a similar algorithm to what Google uses, and that's the main source of the responses. You pipe that into a mediocre chatbot, and you got yourself kind of the answer we just got.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, it's just going to a camp full of oppressed Chinese people, and how you like that?
That would be.
And
How funny would that be if that turns out to be the case? If like a month from now, secret videos leaked out of like this warehouse full of people just rapidly typing responses to internet nerds.
yeah, on DeepSeek. Excuse me.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Kevin from Baltimore.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
only a minority of people are going to get that joke too.
Yeah, we're not going to go any further on that. We do actually have an agenda tonight. While Matt laughs hysterically. What's happening?
I just said they did an emoji, and I said that emoji looks very American. Are you a capitalist dog?
What did it say?
It says AI am created to assist and provide a
See, there you
serious
go.
stock answer.
Yeah,
See,
let's
there you
not.
go. So now, if you kept pressing it, it's going to trigger a thing for some person in the camp, in the concentration camp, in the DeepSeek camp over there, to actually go to ChatGPT, enter the information you put it into, get the answer, copy it, paste it over into there as its reply, because that's how that's working, and that's how you save money in building a chatbot that's just as good, or an AI that's just as good as OpenAI.
I mean, I think you're onto something, David. That might actually be the case.
Next week, the Underdog Journey has Underdog AI, and all we're going to be is West and I copy and pasting shit from ChatGPT, just as good
It's
and just
literally
as powerful as
just Googling,
ChatGPT.
pasting the response. Yeah, we're just googling the question,
Yeah.
pasting the response.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
it's great. I love my job.
We do need to turn this into a job. If we got paid to do this,
Oh.
it'd be a much better show.
Yeah.
I love pork buns.
Pork
buns.
I
rinds?
really love pork Chinese pork buns.
Oh, I've never had.
Look, I mean,
that's not something I would say while petting a cat, but okay.
This is a family show, but from the part of the country that you're from, I see you liking porky buns.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not judging whatever you're into.
I thought he was just talking about Chinese food while he was petting a cat, and I'm like, dude,
I thought he was talking about
something
other
else.
stuff.
Mall is
Hog
stuff,
Mall?
yeah, from Pennsylvania. It's Pennsylvania Dutch.
It's called Hog Mall.
Yeah, MAWL, I think.
Oh, mall.
Yeah,
not
mall.
MALL.
Yeah. It's no, not like a shopping. It's stuffed pig stomach.
Oh, so it's kind of like haggis, but it's pig.
But it's so good. It's stuffed with sausage and potatoes and onions. Not like
You want to have
gross
that for
stuff.
dinner tomorrow?
Yeah, but with good stuffings.
That's what haggis
So I
is.
asked Penny if she wanted to do that for dinner tomorrow. She says no.
How about head cheese?
Famunda?
Head cheese.
Head cheese is, I've never had it, but I wouldn't eat it.
It's actually it's pretty risky. Once now that we know about prion diseases,
Yeah.
you don't want head cheese.
No.
So anyway, the show's getting really weird now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
What the?
You know how dangerous
It's like,
prions are?
oh, here's a left-hand turn. Let's take that.
You can't cook prions out of meat.
That's true.
That's how scary dangerous they are.
Well, so technically you can't get prions from the meat unless the meat has been tainted by spinal fluid or brain tissue.
Yeah, whenever I'm cleaning an animal, I always rupture the spine.
So that's why hamburger meat is more susceptible to prion diseases than like a steak.
And I always grind my deer up.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't include the brain or spine.
Well, that would be anti-Appalachia.
Fair enough. Again, left turn, David.
I think that was a left turn. I think we got off the off the gravel road. Now we're on one of those grass roads that have just a rut on the left and the right, and the grass growing up in the middle. And we're just wandering in a field at this point.
See, I think we've taken so many left turns, we've finally come back to going the right way again.
We're back.
Because the main topic is surround yourself with greatness.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
And this show speaks to that, I think.
Which is why I'm in so many people's circle.
That's it. So Jim Rohn. Have you guys heard of Jim Rohn? So he's a famous football coach who said, "You are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most." He's not a football coach, but that's a Zig Ziglar joke because Zig Ziglar was the football coach.
Literally,
Jim Rohn.
That was a callback from episode 1, people.
It really.
Zig Ziglar coached
a lot of
Notre Dame for quite a while.
He did. He's big in the football community.
Yeah.
But Jim Rohn also big into football.
He was basketball.
Said you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
And that's been distilled in other ways. You've probably heard the version of this that says, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's the same thing.
Yep.
So essentially what it comes down to is surround yourself with greatness and you will achieve greatness, right? So basically today is talking about understanding what builds a great network and how to build a great network that's mutually beneficial to you and the people you surround yourself with. So as we take left turns, look at Matt Harmon and then understand I'm right behind him, apparently.
You become like Matt Harmon when you associate with Matt Harmon.
It's true. He's like a human prion.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
David, you're in good company, aren't you?
Yeah.
Penny's like, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah.
Do better, Penny.
She's probably wondering why she decided she wanted to be on the show with us tonight.
Oh, she wondered that a long time ago. I have no doubt.
You still happy you decided
Now
to
she's
join?
just too polite to leave.
It's dead still. I'm like, you still happy you joined?
There's no response.
This concept is so wonderfully illustrated when a 55-year-old is in art school and he is constantly surrounded by the same people. And I have to always remind myself, I'm 55. I'm 55. I'm 55. I don't need to measure up. I don't need to impress these other students because I'm 55.
Yeah.
And but it's you tend to be drawn into it at any age because it's who you're around all the time.
Well, you're right. Actually, you know what got me thinking about this topic before I wrote this agenda is yesterday evening, I decided a project that I'm working on required some outside help. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to bite the bullet, pay for the outside help. I went to Fiverr. And I said, okay, I'm going to get somebody from Fiverr to, not Fiverr. Fiverr is a whole different thing. Each Fiverr, kids, you need Fiverr. Go to Fiverr.
It's true.
I went there and I was like, I found some people. I contacted a couple of them to try and get some information back about their capabilities. And when they got back to me, there was some broken English, and it's fine. They said they were from one was from like Pennsylvania, one from like Massachusetts, one was from Ohio, and it's fine. People have broken English, or they just don't know how to type. It's a thing. So I decided to find these people on LinkedIn. I just want to know who I'm working with.
Absolutely.
And that's fine. That's great. I actually found. I contacted 7 people. I contacted 8 people. 7 of them I found on LinkedIn. I'm like, this is great. I found these people. I even found Facebook profiles, different photos, but it's the same person. And I even went on, Facebook, and in the Facebook profiles, they had the same photos that were actually on their Fiverr account. I'm like, this is definitely the same person. They had the same capabilities in their background as they had on their LinkedIn accounts. I'm like, this is great. So a couple of them did get back to me ahead of time with the broken English. I'm like, okay, people, we're all over the world. So I contact these people on LinkedIn, and I'm like, hey, I saw your Fiverr account. This is awesome. I'm not trying to hire you independently. If you want to work through Fiverr, that's great.
What's Fiverr?
So Fiverr is like a place where you can hire freelancers to do work for you.
Okay.
And they'll have their professional background, their capabilities, the kind of job they can do for you, and they'll quote you a price.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, I saw your Fiverr account. I really love what you have on there. I just wanted to introduce myself and say hi, and I'm looking forward to working with you on this project. 7 of the 8 people that I contacted on Fiverr got back to me on LinkedIn and said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not on Fiverr. I'm like, oh, that's a problem. So they're like, I'm not on Fiverr. I don't have a Fiverr account. I've never been on Fiverr. I'm like, these people have accounts. It's your photo. It's your background. So I give the information.
It's really easy to right-click, copy, paste,
right,
put the stuff together.
But,
these scam people are out there, man. They're all over.
7 of the 8 people, though. And the 8th person, I don't even know because they just didn't get back to me. Maybe they didn't even see it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So the 8th person, I just don't even know about. 7 of the 8 people had no idea what I was talking about. They weren't on Fiverr. So here's what I did. I actually went back to Fiverr, and I contacted their customer support. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, these people, this is not who they are. This is not who they actually are. These are stolen identities. These people are not who they claim to be. I've actually talked to the real people on LinkedIn. So Fiverr actually, because they want to make the money, so they try and keep it in house. They have a rule that says you shouldn't communicate with our freelancers outside of the Fiverr.
Oh, what assholes!
So what they did was customer support. When I was talking to them in a live chat, they said, "Oh, thanks for the information." It ended, and I got an email immediately afterwards saying they suspended my account indefinitely because I broke the rules about contacting their freelancers off of the Fiverr platform.
You know what?
They care more about that than actually cultivating and cleaning.
Right.
So they should be liable. So if somebody gets $1 stolen from them, they should be liable for to the tune of millions. To the tune of millions. And that's what's going to clean that kind of shit up.
Right. So I will never, ever, ever use Fiverr because they would rather delete me for letting them know that people are using stolen identities to scam people on their platform. It's insane. It makes no sense. So I will never use Fiverr. I never recommend anyone ever using Fiverr. Fiverr, if you want to come and sue me, I saved the chats. Feel free. I would gladly take you to court just so I can get the exposure out there that you are facilitating
Micah
scammers.
Kaufman is the CEO. They have 787 employees founded in as of 2021. They were down 2.10. So they were down 67 cents today to 31.20 on the New York Stock Exchange. So they should be protecting data, and they are not.
They're not. I've actually thought about making a video specifically for LinkedIn talking about why I would never use or recommend Fiverr. I'm not sure I want to start that fight because it's a
I
whole
would.
pain in the ass.
I would.
But
I'm willing to pick fights with big companies right now.
but that got me thinking about who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with people who are infinitely more capable and smarter than you, which I think in general I've done. I don't count Matt into that, but in general,
That's easy for me to do, though. So
I've done that. It's very easy for me to surround myself with better, smarter, more capable people. So it got me thinking about building your network accordingly. And all three of us are part of a professional organization that helps to facilitate that, or technically should.
yeah.
It does to a certain degree. I wouldn't know either one of you if it weren't for that organization. So
Yeah,
I count that as a win.
I don't know. We're pretty badass. We'd have probably rubbed elbows at some point.
Possibly. It's possible. So here are the quick benefits of building a really strong network. And I think we all kind of know, look, it's who you know, right? Your network is your net worth. But it goes deeper than that. So the first real benefit of building a super strong network, and these are things I wish I knew a long time ago. If I could start building my network when I was 20 years old, I mean, my life would be, I might be a billionaire right now. Who knows?
Probably not, but yeah, it'd be good.
Look,
It'd be better.
Look, if I had known the people that I know now, back when I was 20, and I started working on the projects I'm working on now back when I was 20, I mean, it's I could be in a much
well off it.
my children, their lives would be paid for by now. I'll say that. So the first one is access to new ideas and perspectives. So look, if you're around the same people all the time, talking about the same stuff, going to the same places, you're stuck in an echo chamber. You need to be. It's actually great that you're in college because you need to be exposed to new things. You need to be exposed to new ideas. And building a great network can do that for you.
Yeah, it really can.
And it's not because as much as we like being in our comfort zones, that's only going to get you so far.
This is the gassiest cat.
Oh, that cat's disgusting. She stinks.
She farts all the time.
Yeah, well, she fits right in my family. Yeah. so the second one is support and encouragement. So unfortunately, this is really unfortunate for a lot of people. A lot of people are stuck in, friend groups or family groups that just aren't supportive.
Yeah.
How often you hear about somebody who just, they want to do other stuff, but they have a family member or, a close friend group who says, you can't do that. Right? Why are you going to waste your time doing that? It's just, you're going to burn all your time. You're going to waste your time, and just keep doing what you're doing. You're fine. Good enough is good enough.
Hold on. Were you reading to see how far down we were? Did you realize we're still way at the top?
Oh no, is she reading the agenda? Don't read the agenda, Penny.
Yeah, she's looking at the agenda. So, yeah, we're here.
She looks bored.
I told her she's willing to. She's welcome to give up the ghost anytime she wants and head off and do her thing.
Does she realize this is like a 2-hour show?
Typically? Yeah, she's playing video games.
Yeah. All right, we'll try and speed through for her sake.
So far, she's been a trooper over here.
Can I say one thing, though? One thing. I hate it when people you're trying to cyberstalk don't add new photos to their Facebook page. Am I?
Fair enough.
Penny's laughing at you over here. All of us, I'm seeing like, okay, yeah, that didn't get creepy at all.
That's super annoying. I mean, it's.
Come on, people.
I hate that. I'm trying to stalk somebody. They don't upload new photos. I get bored. I don't know.
It's been the same photos for 2 years. Come on.
You've been stalking somebody for 2 years?
Well, my ex-wife. Every now and then I like to pop in and see how she's doing, but she
doesn't
update any of the photos.
Maybe now you know why.
Probably why.
Well, okay.
Fair enough.
Then. Yeah, I don't follow my ex-wife. I don't follow anything. I don't have one, but
you don't have an ex.
That's correct.
Yeah, I just want to make sure she's happy and she's, although there's nothing I can do about it, but she is. She's married to looks like a wonderful man. She's had a baby. I'm excited that she's having a great life. But it'd be nice to see some photos. Okay,
Tell her that.
somehow I feel like this is me. Like maybe I've made a mistake here. So go on with your agenda.
All right, so number
No,
three
it definitely
of
was you.
benefits. Number three of the benefits
Go
of
with,
strong
go with your
network.
gut feeling there on that one.
Don't
Even
go.
Penny again laughed at you about that.
No. You remember the episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza did the exact opposite of what he thought he should do?
Yeah.
Do Costanza.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
It always works out.
Yeah.
For support and
Anyway.
encouragement, I don't know if there's any way we can tie this into that tangent we just went on, but
No.
having a supporting group and you put a finger on something there. People who are scared to do things don't want you to do things, and they are
Oh, that's so
never
true.
It's true.
going to be supportive of you doing things. So
Right.
everything you're doing is too risky for them. It's scary for them, and because of that, the support is just going to be broken at best. And if you find a person that's scared to do it and is proud of you for doing it, then you have found the exception that proves the rule. And congratulations.
Right. That's it.
Yeah,
And
hold on to that person, even if you have to lock them in a basement.
Right. And honestly, it goes beyond just the support and encouragement. Like it reinforces you. It actually gives you an obligation to then go further and try harder to achieve those things too, because you don't want to let that person down who believes in you, right? So it pays itself back in many ways.
Yeah.
The next one though is opportunities and collaborations. So again, who you surround yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with people who have no aspirations to achieve things? Are you surrounding yourself with people who have no ambition to do something different or bigger or better? Then chances are you won't either.
Yeah.
But if you surround yourself with people who want to do things, who want to achieve things, who have dreams that they want to achieve one day, guess what? It's going to rub off.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of complacency.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
It's so.
I can't imagine living a life where it's like, I'm happy where I'm at. This is all I want to achieve in life.
Yeah.
Like that's the end for me.
Yeah, no.
Like to the day that I die, I still want to have those dreams. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to achieve this big thing.
Yeah, I want to keep going. If I achieve it, I'm going to assign myself another one.
Right.
That's
exactly.
all there is to it. It's just you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. That's all there is. Complacency. I mean, different things get people different, happy, and there's different strokes for different folks. Some people don't want that type of life. Some people want that I'm happy where I am. And if that's where you're happy, then you know what? Great. I'm going to say hi to you. I'm going to be nice to you, but you're not going to be part of my circle.
Right.
I said that in a class. I said that, and that's why everybody got so mad at me. I said, look, I associate with success because these people are just bashing successful people. This in my class,
and those are the people who will never be successful.
Right. And I said, look, I associate with successful people. I mean, I care about all of you in the sense that you're my classmates, and if the building was on fire, I'd help you get out. But I don't care about any of you because you're not in my peer group. We're not the same.
Right.
And oh boy, did they take that the wrong way.
Well, you at our school, they're offended by everything.
Yeah.
They took it the wrong way. I don't care if you live or die. Don't take this the wrong way.
Help them out of a burning building.
You're a stepping stone to me.
I really thought that was something.
Yeah. You're a human urinal cake.
Yes, but I don't care about any of you.
A human urinal cake. That's a new one.
Yeah.
A year later.
I wasn't hanging on to that one for a while.
So,
I love it.
So is this the turtle from Turtle Earth Society right here?
I don't know. I don't see your screen big. Hang on. The turtle. So the Turtle Earth Society. I don't know who runs the Turtle Earth Society.
I do.
But apparently it's this group of people or organization or person that believes that the Earth isn't flat. It's not round, but it does exist on the back of a giant turtle.
Oh, that's Native American lore.
It travels through
See?
space.
Matt knows the Turtle Earth Society.
Well, I learned it in church when we were in Sunday school.
They teach about turtles in
we were
Sunday
talking
school.
about Noah's Ark and how all these different cultures have an ark story in them, and one of them is Native Americans have a turtle ark story.
See, it has its place in history.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Hashtag.
All right,
Turtler
so
Society.
number 4 in the benefits of a strong network is personal growth and development. That kind of ties into the previous ones. It's all about just bettering yourself. You surround yourself with people who are ambitious, who want to achieve things. Guess what? They're going to want to achieve things, and they will do it.
And they're
But
going to want you to achieve
surround
things.
yourself with people, what's that?
And they're going to want you to achieve things.
And right, because they're gonna place those goals that they have onto the people they surround themselves with as well.
Well,
And
they'll send you leads too. Plus, you get much better food and much better bourbon.
well, look, if you surround yourself with people who are complacent, they're just like, this is my life, I'm perfectly happy, I'm done trying to build and grow and do new things. Everybody they surround themselves with are going to be on the same level. And
Well-
that's the furthest you're going to go. Or like you're in art school. And you said the younger people, I can't say kids anymore because they're in their 20s.
Right.
They complain and they hate people who love success.
Right.
Guess
Boy,
what?
do they.
They'll never be successful because they view success as the enemy.
I said poverty sucks, and you should have seen how they jumped on me about it.
Right, exactly. Because they know CCAD's school motto is, "Would you like fries with that?"
It's basically.
Yeah. So
We went to a gallery today, and I know the gallery, the lady who runs the gallery. She's Duncan's girlfriend, and I had a conversation with her, and the class did, and it's only a 4-person class, but I was asking about the economics of the gallery and how it functions and how money is made in the marketing. And
that's a really good question. That should be a class on its own.
Asking questions that aren't about the artist on the wall because they weren't relevant to me.
Mm-hmm.
How they choose art and how they sell art was what I was concerned about. And the gallery owner had never answered questions like that. She did great. She answered them
because she knows.
Yeah, she answered very directly and was real clear about things and about their missions, from their mission statement to how they make money and that sort of thing. But it was questions designed for me to be successful once I left that school. And the kids in the class, which I like these kids, they listened and they were paying attention to those types of questions.
Right. And those are things that people just don't and that's why a good network, a diverse network, is great, because it gives you perspectives and points of view of business and different parts of life and how to achieve different things in different areas that you wouldn't have gotten if you had been surrounded by people who were just like you.
You know who is one of the best networkers is Benji.
Yeah,
because Benji, even if he's not successful on this area, he constantly encourages. You can't see him without him wrapping you up in a hug. Yeah. And because he's like 7 foot tall, he's truly wrapping you up. But he's this huge giant of a man, and he's so gentle and so kind and encouraging, and he is successful.
Yeah, you're right. And he's a good speaker. Benji's a good guy. Yeah, I like him a lot. Speaker. So when it comes to building a network, there are basic ideas and strategies that not everybody considers. So, the first one that you should really consider in building a network is the idea that it should be mutually beneficial. So this comes into the idea of some people get a professional mentor, or they choose a friend group or a group of networking people, right? It should be mutually beneficial. If I come to a group or I come to a person and I just want to take their knowledge and take their information and take their skills, what are they getting out of it? Why are they constantly coming back and saying, why am I even hanging out with you?
Yeah. You will be wanting in that circle. That circle will cut you pretty quick.
That's exactly it. You need to provide something of value in return.
Yeah.
And this comes into something I wish I'd known a long time ago. If I could go back to my 20s and get a professional mentor where I could say, hey, you know what? I want to build my life to be like yours. What can I do? That's not going to work, because they're going to say, who are you? Why do I care? Why am I going to waste my time on you? You have nothing to offer. But if you come and say, you know what? I'm going to work for you for, minimum wage, and I'm going to do every bit as good a job as your executive assistant. All I ask for is that you let me sit in on your executive meetings. I won't say a word. I'll sign NDAs. I just want to learn from you.
I have one.
They will take you in. They'll take you under their wing, and they will treat you like their own son. Building a network is like that too. You need to provide the same level of benefit. Even if you can't provide the same level of benefit, find something that they find valuable. Even if it's just a matter of building great friendships. Like, honestly, you, Matt, and David, you guys are my best friends, and hopefully, the benefit that I can provide to you guys somehow out it balances out with what you guys give back to me. I know, David, you helped me with a ton of things I couldn't have achieved on my own. Matt, you gave me a bottle of whiskey. But honestly,
he provides good comic relief, good humor, good perspective.
he's a
And
and
if we
honestly,
ever
your
need to
sales.
make sure we don't get too old too fast, Matt's a great person to have around.
No,
Just
Matt's
because your
sales
age is
experience.
going up doesn't mean you have to get older with it.
No, I'm going to draw on his sales experience before he knows it, man. I'm telling you, this guy's sales experience is next level. When you go back into sales, eventually you will, whether it's art sales or whatever.
I got no choice in the matter. I'm going to have to. Yeah.
Go into galleries.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was asking about. That's another show, but I was talking to them about the lady who has that gallery. She actually, her art is shown through a different gallery.
Yeah.
But the marketing at the other gallery is awful.
Right.
She relies on a core group of patrons, but she doesn't go out and expand that group.
Well, and that's the thing with the patrons too is they have a physical gallery. Again, a different show altogether. They have a physical gallery where people can come in and schmooze the artwork, but they sell most of their stuff through patrons and collectors.
Right.
Those people, though, you need to schmooze. Schmoozing is a skill that 99.9% of people will never have and never understand. Yep. I'll never be a schmoozer. Matt, you have been and you will be again. David, you certainly have that skill.
I hold my own.
So that's the first part of the idea of building a really great, valuable network is mutual benefit between everybody involved. Second one is be intentional. Like, pick your friend group, pick your professional group intentionally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have your friends that you grew up with, but honestly, it's when I met you guys, I went out of my way to pick the group of people that I wanted to be influenced by.
And I remember that. Yes, you did.
And I think it's worked out okay. I think I'm in a much different place now than I would have been had I not known you guys.
Yeah, I agree. I'm from that same group. I'm in a different trajectory from where I think I would have been. I probably would have stayed in a certain level. I'd have been good at what I did, but I would have never pushed myself to go further, which is what led me to where I am now. So,
yeah. So, beyond that, the next one is look for people who complement your strengths and your weaknesses. So I don't compliment my current wife enough. I should, but it's just, we all don't really compliment our current spouses enough. But honestly, it's had I married somebody that I was dating back in high school or even in college, my life would not be even remotely where it is right now. I look back and I think to myself, oh, thank God.
Dodge that bull.
Hopefully none of them are watching right now. But no, honestly, my current wife, she's look, whether it's going to work out or not, she believes in me, and she's giving me enough leeway, enough rope to hang myself. But she claims to believe in me, and she's helping me out. She's helping me while I achieve these things that I'm developing right now in my life. And I am supporting her in different ways too. You need to find people who support you in the things you're trying to achieve, and you can support them in the same ways. And at the same time, understand your weaknesses as well, and find people. Oh, that sounds delicious.
She's just over here looking at her app, checking her points. It's like
at the same time, though,
sorry.
Find people who aren't going to feed your weaknesses, right? If you have a dependency, like a chemical dependency, like for Chick-fil-A, find somebody who maybe doesn't have the same chemical dependency, because it will. I mean, you'll waste every dollar you have at Chick-fil-A because it's delicious. Man, their breakfast sandwiches.
I do enjoy their breakfast sandwiches, but they're, I don't know. I've went off on the rails on Chick-fil-A before. I just thought it was funny. I looked over and she's got Chick-fil-A app open over there.
That sounds really good right now, actually.
Yeah. So I like what you're saying. And tell me more about complementing the weakness. So the strengths, that's right. Good. That's good. That's the easier one. Complementing the weaknesses.
Right.
Run me through that.
So when you understand your weaknesses, like if you have a proclivity to procrastination, right? Find somebody a friend group, or even a spouse if you have the opportunity to be this picky. Find somebody who doesn't procrastinate as much, who gets up earlier in the morning, who doesn't leave messes around, who can do certain things that you can't do. Find a group of friends who have abilities that you don't have. Example, I am terrible with, I mean, well, I'm not terrible. I just don't, I don't have the skill set. I don't know electronics, the deep down, dirty part of electronics. I can code to a certain degree. I understand how things work, but I certainly can't wire things. David, you've helped me a lot with wiring different things around the house with certain projects I'm working on.
You haven't done too bad.
Find people who can
You've at
find
least
people
been
who
able
have
to
skill
grasp it.
sets
You've been able to grasp
that
it.
you
Yeah, so
right, but find people who have skill sets that you don't have that you think that can be beneficial, and at the same time, you have skill sets they might not have or might not be. Again, they can develop these things. Hopefully, you're surrounding yourself with people who are able to learn, but maybe they just don't, for whatever reason, currently have certain skill sets.
And don't be jealous of your friend group.
yeah.
Well, and that's part of it
Huge.
too.
I've seen
It
that
is.
happen over and over, and it just doesn't work.
But that goes back to finding people who you can complement each
Right.
other. Is the idea that like when your friend succeeds, you don't, or let's say you succeed. When you succeed, you don't want to be surrounded by people who are going to be jealous by your success.
Right.
You want people who are going to say, "Hey, that's awesome, man! Congratulations!" At the same time, when they succeed, you don't want to be jealous of
Right.
them. You want to say, "Hey, man, congratulations! That is
Yep.
super cool. I can't believe you did that." So when it comes to complementing success, it goes into also the idea of complementing strengths. Their strengths complement your strengths, and vice versa. Your weaknesses, they can compensate for your weakness here, and at the same time, you can compensate for their weakness there.
Yep.
David is really big into sales. I'm really big into marketing. These are two things that work together.
Do you know that they're separate?
I did know that. We've done whole shows on that.
You've done a few shows on that.
I know. I'm just doing a holler back to those shows.
There
Those
you
are,
go.
Those are good shows. Those are good ones.
Because honestly, that was the first time I ever heard sales and marketing are separate, and it took me a while to figure that out.
Oh, that was the first time?
That was
funny.
the first time.
Well, there you go.
You know what? It's shocking how many people are exactly the same way. The number
Well,
of
how
people
many-
that don't understand the separation between sales and marketing.
Right. Well, I mean, I've always had marketing on my cards.
Yeah, but as a salesperson, marketing associate is not what I'm doing.
Oh, you've had marketing associate on
Yeah,
here? Oh,
many times.
yeah. You should have told him, hey, I'm in sales, not marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
If
And
you were a
I
marketer,
didn't know there
that's-
was a separation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is. There most certainly is.
Oh, sales, marketing, advertising. Sales, marketing, advertising, and branding. Four
Yep.
completely different things. People have no idea the difference.
Yep.
So, yeah. So find somebody who complements your strengths and your weaknesses. But at the same time, you need to understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. So if you're not being honest with yourself, you need to do some introspection. Number 3 is be clear about what you can offer in return. So
I bring sarcastic comments to the table.
David brings sarcasm. Matt brings left turns and potatoes.
And peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
French fries and peanut butter, they're not my favorite things, but I'm certainly learning a lot about them.
You ever put peanut butter on a French fry?
No, but I will try that.
You ever put butter
delicious.
on a Pop-Tart?
Delicious.
Peanut butter frosty and a French fry. That sounds really good.
Ooh, I do love French fries in a frosty.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a peanut butter frosty?
There
No,
should be.
I'll have the peanut butter, dip it in the French fry into the peanut butter, then dip it into the frosty.
Well, here's something even better. You dip your French fry into the peanut butter. You dip that into a frosty.
Oh, wait
you
a
dip that into marshmallow fluff. You got yourself a snack.
Unos
you
momentos
guys-
por favor, señores y señoritas. You guys are right down the street from Wendy's. Wendy's is in the heart of Central Ohio, home of Buckeye Country. Why do
It's
we
true.
not have a Buckeye Frosty?
Right? Come on. We need
That is a
to.
good point.
Wendy's. I know you
Wendy's,
watch this
make this
show.
happen.
Wendy's marketing team. You are dropping the ball on
I
this
think
one.
all the people
David,
I
you're
knew
genius.
over at corporate are retired at this point. So everybody I knew is
Yeah.
gone.
When Dave Thomas passed away, it all went downhill.
Yeah, I pulled up in front of their building once and some redhead and pigtails and some weird skirt chased me away. Thinking it might be Wendy.
I think that was just a random dude walking in front of the place. This is Dublin.
Might have been.
All right, so be clear about what you can offer in return. So that comes down to understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are. So we kind of ended on that. You need to, if you can't understand what your strengths and weaknesses are, do homework on yourself before you really seek out that group of people.
There's a hold on a second. There's a thing, and I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna let you keep. Beyonce should have won. I'm gonna let you keep talking, but I'm gonna look this up. And
Beyonce should have
it's,
won. Are you
it's a,
talking about when?
it's a joke. It's a thing.
Are you talking about the award
Some
show
kind of
where it
award
was like
thing.
P. Diddy jumped up and attacked that
It
girl?
was Eminem who jumped up.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
It wasn't Eminem.
doesn't
It was
matter.
like Puff Daddy.
Dante, right?
You're just naming people now.
Yeah, just grabbing names. It was starts with a K.
Kanye.
Kanye.
West.
It was Kanye West. That's right.
I always get Kanye and P. Diddy mixed up. Is that bad?
Yeah, I think they're.
I think there's I'm trying not to. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
there's a review process. You were saying if you don't know what your strengths and weaknesses are, there is a review thing that you can do. It's called something 360. I've got one of them around here somewhere. I'll dig it up and I'll try to remember it for next week. Don't do it unless you have some thick skin, because if you get this out, and I have a very large network, so usually when people send it out, they get 4 or 5 people that will reply to it and take the survey. When I sent it out, I think I had 113 people get back. I mean, I sent it out to tons of people. I mean, just tons of contacts.
You didn't send it to me either.
Oh, I would have loved to have filled one.
I think one of you guys did actually.
You didn't send it to me.
This is years and years ago. This is years and years ago.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It was me.
Yeah. So I think if not both, at least one of you guys filled it out. But I mean, it was like 113 people filled this thing back out for me, and so you can have 112 glowing reviews, but you're not going to look at those. You're not going to take those to heart. You're going to take the things that you perceive as negatives. So don't do it unless you got thick skin and you're really ready to work on yourself. But from there, you can really hone down on where your weaknesses is. Because one of the replies I got back was, David is full of ideas, but he can't follow through on all of them. And that is to the T.
That defines you pretty closely.
That has me in a box. I've got no way to argue with it.
I honestly think that was actually me.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, a lot of it was, just don't stand still for too long. David will give you an idea.
It's true. David has like idea ADD.
Yeah. But he's a generator.
But they're good ideas.
He's a generator, not a completer.
But they're good ideas, though.
Yeah.
So I've always told David, look, the second I start a successful business, I'm going to bring him on as chief innovative officer, where his only job is to come in
shit up
and make ideas.
I would let him have an idea a month, though, because you got to have time to implement it.
So that's where it comes in. Is there's no way.
Say, hey, make this thing.
Yeah, but before you know it, you don't have a company anymore. The team comes in, carries you out on your office chair, and you're in the alley.
But here's the thing. All you need for your company to really blow up is one really good successful idea. Well, if you can blow through these things like a dozen a month.
Well, there's an idea.
You're going to hit one good one.
With it.
Yeah.
With that.
You don't, if you stand still for too long, I'll give you a business. I'll give you an idea.
And then I'm going to steal all of his ideas, keep them for myself.
Yes. Like lock him in the basement.
And he'll be the Nikola Tesla, dying poor and alone.
Yeah.
And I'll be
just give me a pigeon, I'll be happy.
He'll die sad and alone, married to a pigeon, and I'll be super successful. People remember who I am.
There's a student at the school who is he's obsessive, and I associate with him a lot because he does a lot of my editing. Because I'll be like, how do I make this blue? And then I get out of the chair. And he sits down and just does the entire edit.
It's pretty funny.
And I'm like, oh, dude,
Don't you think you should at least watch so you know how he turned it blue?
I already knew how to turn it blue.
You just didn't want to do it.
I just didn't want to do it.
Fair enough. I appreciate that.
He'll take over the whole thing.
I appreciate that.
Oh, that's funny. And this year he's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I tested it, and he's still doing it.
That's funny. All right, so that was be clear about what you can offer in return. Obviously, Matt's not returning anything. Number 4,
some bourbon.
He gave me a bottle of Bullet, which is awesome because Bullet's a great bourbon.
It is a good bourbon.
Number 4 is this is one I'm really terrible at, and I should be better. Nurture your relationships.
You've got red hair. We give you a slack.
Well,
It's true. I have no soul.
Return your text messages.
I don't return anybody's anything. And I mean to, I just don't. It's one of those things where, like, I'll see it, and, like, I'll get back to it in, like, a minute.
You know what's funny?
And the next day, I'm like, well, shit, now it's too late.
You can spend your whole life trying to do something that you just have to struggle to, and it's a simple thing. You're like, why can't I just do that? And then one day you'll reach an age where you're like, fuck it, that's who I am.
Here's what I need. I need a chat bot who responds to all my messages in my voice or in my tone of voice, and then basically at the end of the day just gives me a update, just a cliff notes of everything that it responded back to. I'm like, cool. All right, there's my.
Honestly, I thought that's how you did it.
I'm gonna develop. That'd be a good one.
It's already out there. There's a thing out there we were talking about that'll do it.
That needs to be. I need to get that because that's what I need. It needs to. Well, here's the thing. It needs to respond to all my texts on my phone. It needs to respond to all my emails in my dozen different email accounts. It needs to respond to various different social accounts I'm a part of. And at the end of the day, just give me like an outline of all the stuff it responded to from me, and I'm like, cool. Okay, that's my communications. I'm done.
God, you'd never have to leave your basement.
It'd be great.
You could truly be a night walker.
Oh, it'll talk to my. It'll raise my kids.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's so see. There's West and I so different because like no, I'm like literally one of my first things is I try to get a face-to-face meeting via Teams, and then from there I try to get a face-to-face meeting, literally face-to-face, an in-person face-to-face meeting.
You like the face-to-face. I like the phone calls with no video at all.
Oh, I can't do that either because there's no visual input. I can't communicate.
I don't want the visual input because here's the thing. So even when I'm on like meetings with like actual people, when I talk and I'm actually being productive in my mind, I pace. So like I don't want to be stuck in front of a camera because like when I talk, I pace and I actually think better when I'm moving.
Well, you could get
if I'm sitting down in front of a screen and I'm just stable in one place, I'm like my brain it can't expand to where it needs to go.
Well, you get one of those Gorilla phone holders and you just pace with the phone holder.
I get the selfie sticks.
Yeah,
I get a selfie stick and walk around.
And you pace all you
That's
want.
pretty funny.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Yeah, that's how Elon Trump does it.
I don't think that's how any of those people do that.
Well, they should.
That's a person.
You know,
give it time, David.
My earbuds are working, but the microphones quit working on them.
Mine did too.
And I can't make calls
because it's Apple.
Yeah, well,
Apple products suck, David.
I can't call my friends. I can't call my dad because I walk around when I got my earbuds on.
Yeah, mine did too. This is my third pair where the microphone stopped working.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know that I'm going to get enough.
That's exactly it. $100 a pop, microphone stops working in a month.
I got mine over the summer.
Yeah, I know. Same thing.
Just because I hit him with a stun gun, the microphone quits working.
I think mine stopped working just because it hates me. But
I've had my AirPods Pros for probably 2 years now, 2.5 years, and I only use them here at the desk.
Yep.
Just so because I like to have things right because I don't have great hearing. I like to have it right there. And
yeah.
It separates me from being, the noise in the house. Usually this one's getting the dogs all ramped up and, running around the house, playing soccer and all kinds of other things. So it helps me isolate and separate. So
my next set might be a Bose because like Matt, the Apple brand, just the mic stops working. I don't know why. This is my third pair. This has happened.
So you have both ears. You can do that. But Bose doesn't make their buds are good. And I've had a few of them. But they don't make it where the left ear is the microphone ear. If I want to use Bose, I've got to have both of them in it all the time. And the voice doesn't.
Well, I can't do that then.
Yeah.
Because I always only have one end.
Yeah. Because you got to be able to hear yourself.
But you can use the right ear. My right ear doesn't work. So if I put an earbud in, it doesn't matter.
Well, no, I switch. I alternate because
then it'll only work on one side. It only works on the right-hand side.
Oh, then screw Bose.
Just screw that.
Yeah. No, I always got time for that.
So
Samsung's the way to go.
For almost 5 years, I had the extended warranty, and not on the Apples, but on like these Blue Parrot. Blue Parrot makes the best noise canceling Bluetooth because they're made for truckers. But the minute I'd start getting static, I'm like, battery's dying because they're rechargeable, right? And so I take it into Best Buy, cash in that warranty. Take out because they charge you for a little bit of the difference, and get a new pair. For 6 years, I worked that warranty into the dirt until I got my first pair of Apple.
Yeah, I'll never buy Apple ones again because they keep dying.
Yeah.
So that was nurture your relationships. The last one, this will make Penny happy because the last one is be open to learning and growth. So there's no point in building a network if you're not going to be willing to learn and grow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to grow, that's fine. Stick with people you're with. That's fine. If you're perfectly happy where you are, if you're content, that's great. If you're not willing to learn and develop and reach that next step of where you think you want to go, then stay where you are. And that's fine. And that's good for some people.
Yeah.
And don't act like you're in awe when you walk into one of your network's dining rooms and it's a mansion. Just freaking go in and have a drink and act like you're at your house.
Well, that's true. That's a different conversation.
All right.
So yeah, when eventually you'll find some super rich friends who really are at a much higher level than you should be have access to. At that time, maybe don't be a fanboy when that happens, and just go and enjoy the free booze while you got it.
Yep.
But at the same time, be open to learning and growing, because that's the whole point of developing the network. Like, that is the point. Develop, grow, reach the next step. If you're not interested in that, then don't develop a network. It's not for you. Figure out why you want to develop a network. Hopefully it's to learn and grow, and find those people. Follow the steps we just outlined, and you can find people who can complement what you're doing and help you reach that next step. And hopefully you can help them reach their next step. And you can grow together. And that's the whole point of a great network.
And don't spit out their Chernobyl tasty bourbon.
Well, that's just it. And again, hopefully you'll find people that like you guys that have helped me reach different levels that I wouldn't have reached had I just been sitting in my basement alone, sad, talking to a piece of plastic and glass on the internet. Yeah, a chat bot.
Yeah, I can see that. That chatbots are addictive. Except she won't talk she won't
stop.
Well, here's the funny thing though, is chatbots. I mean, honestly, if you could take today's chatbot back 10 years ago and give it the Turing test, I think today's chatbots would totally pass the Turing test.
Up until they won't discuss, even in a fictional sense, anything even remotely intimate.
Right, but my point is that the Turing test is actually kind of useless now, because it doesn't actually work the way that Alan Turing thought it would. But that's a different conversation altogether.
Simulacra.
If you're gonna make up a word, you gotta come up better than that.
You don't know simulacra? I just learned this 2 semesters ago in philosophy.
I've had Similac.
It's the Matrix. Is simulacra.
Ah, okay.
So it's an interesting concept that I totally ignored.
I like it. Tell us more about the simulacra.
It sounded communist to me, so I kind of tuned it out. But no, it's like
it sounds for somebody who's for somebody who's like lactose intolerant.
It's a simulation of real life.
Okay.
It's a simulation of real life. Like, you don't know the difference, like the Matrix.
Well, so prove that we're not in a simulation.
I can't. That's the whole point.
Exactly.
And what's interesting is simulacra was conceived, I think it was the 40s. Like, basically the Matrix was written in the 40s by this philosopher.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Coen brothers acknowledged that whole philosophy when they were making it.
So in quasi-science philosophy, there's the idea of something called a Boltzmann brain. And a Boltzmann brain is the idea that if the universe is infinite, and as infinite as the universe is, eventually whatever can happen will happen, right? That's the idea of infinity. Mm-hmm. So the idea of a Boltzmann brain is the idea that within the infinite universe, particles came together in such a way that consciousness came about, only it doesn't know that it's this random array of particles floating somewhere in the universe. Mm-hmm. So it basically hallucinates its existence. So it believes it's possibly an individual, possibly this entire simulated universe that we live in could be a Boltzmann brain. You could be a Boltzmann brain floating in a jar somewhere, hallucinating all of reality for you. Because similar to the Matrix, it's only real to that person because their brain believes it's real.
I don't think my knees would hurt this bad if I were Boltzmann brain.
I'm just saying, it's out there. It's an idea.
That makes sense. But yeah, my knees would definitely, and my thumbs are starting to get arthritic. Yeah, it's not. I would not choose this. I would not hallucinate this.
So, have you seen the photographs of from the James Webb Space Telescope of uh, deep space in like I forget what resolution they did it in, but like ultra high resolution of radio waves, and they compared the images. It looks like this crazy complex super spider web, and they compared it to images of human neural tissue.
Yeah, neural networking and
They
brains.
look identical.
Yeah, that's,
And this physicist is actually saying it's completely possible the universe is conscious and the universe itself is actually a neural network that it's using to think. Now, is that the mind of God? Is it that we are actually just daydreams in somebody else's brain?
well, I don't know. We
That's
traveled,
where Penny called it a draw. She's like, "All right, I went this far. I can't."
She's all right. This is
She said it
I haven't
bad
gotten
anyway.
to college yet. I'm out.
Yeah, she lasted longer than I thought she would.
We just lost Penny.
Well, I'm to bed soon anyway.
She was in on the marketing. We lost her on the
neural network of
simulated
the brain.
reality. See, I would think this would get her attention. This is something I would be into when I was a kid.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with soccer.
Fair enough.
Look at Kitty.
We were completely offsides on that one, David.
Yeah, which I still don't understand offsides in soccer.
Nobody really does. It's made up.
Excuse me. I
Nobody-
agree. I can tell you exactly offsides in hockey and football. I mean, I don't know if there is such a thing in basketball, but I don't care anyway. It's basketball.
It's like
But,
downs.
yeah.
It's like downs in football.
No, downs in football makes sense.
No, they don't. There's like a million first downs before you. Are there second downs? I don't know. Nobody knows. They're just making it up as they go along.
I know exactly how that works. It's
First,
easy.
second down. First, second, third. Oop. First, second, third. Oop. First, second, third, fourth.
Why can't you just say this is the number of downs and then they're done with the downs?
Because you get a chance to reset it.
They have the
by
downs.
good behavior.
I think I have the Downs syndrome. I don't know what's going on because I can't figure out what the heck is going on.
Did you see
And we just got canceled from the entire internet after I said that. I apologize.
how Notre Dame lost to Ohio State? I don't personally care, but it makes for a lot of good jokes. I have so many
I
fans.
got my Ohio State flag over in the corner.
I saw Rudy once. That's all I know about Notre Dame.
Rudy. Well, they got gold helmets.
Also, I said Notre Dame
And my uncle's.
because I refuse
Not
to say Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame. I've been there.
Yeah. So what's funny is during the fire a couple years ago, everybody the day before it was Notre Dame, Notre Dame, Notre Dame, Notre Dame, and then they had the fire over there, and they're like, "Oh, the Cathedral of Notre Dame." Like,
Nope.
yeah, you were just calling it Notre Dame 2 days ago, man. I mean, calm down.
Yeah, I went there. I thought I saw the Hunchback. It turned out it's a really ugly dude.
I would have went with Chick, but okay.
He was just trying to mop the floors. I was like, "It's the Hunchback."
You know,
Don't call me that. I'm French.
I have a doctorate thesis I could write, but I don't know French. I don't know French art, but it's about Jacques-Louis David and having Masonic symbolism in his artwork. And I swear to God, you could write a doctorate thesis on it.
Hey, ChatGPT.
But I have no interest in doing it.
Just have ChatGPT write it.
Well, that's a good idea. I'll ask her on the way home. Speaking of which, I'm going to go. I'm falling asleep.
All right, we lost Matt. We lost Penny. We lost Matt. Yeah, the show is
It's
falling
time
apart,
for us.
David.
It's 10:08. It's time for us to wrap up anyway.
I brought my own ice this time.
You did.
Yeah.
That's I got to get my ice maker.
So I don't have to shove my dirty hands into your ice maker.
I was thinking that actually. All right, man. See you later.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, see you, Matt.
See, that's building a network by being sensitive about dirty ice.
That is. I can offer you ice. You can offer me no dirty, grubby hands in my ice.
Yeah.
It's mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The show got weird, David.
it did. It did, and like casually, it was just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're going to talk weird now," and then we did.
Yeah. Look, we always have the best of intentions at the beginning of the show, and this is usually how it ends, in embarrassment and shyly walking away from the show.
And gone.
And yeah. Good times.
Oh, Lord of mercy. So yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's been
surprised-
it's a good show. It's a good
I'm
show.
surprised Penny stuck around that way.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Wasn't it exciting for her? I think next time, her mom's out. I just didn't want to have her sitting around doing nothing all night, being here with me, and she still enjoy it. So
Fair enough.
Nikki's down in Mexico, so
Yeah, why is she in Mexico? What's going on?
She's a travel agent, so she's off doing her thing.
Fair enough. That sounds pretty cool. I wish I were in Mexico right now.
Yeah, yeah. Mexico's. I don't want to go, but yeah, you can.
Look, there are parts. Just don't drink the water.
Yeah, I don't want no. I'm good.
Not in the mood for Montezuma's Revenge, huh?
I don't. I just there's nothing about that place I want to go see.
All right. Well, before we insult an entire half of the continent, let's go ahead and end the show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind offending them. I mean, really, I just there's some cultural things down there I wouldn't mind seeing, but until the world calms back down, there's no way. It's like going to Europe right now. There's no way I go to Europe right now.
Oh, dude, I can't tell you how many places around the world I want to go visit right now, but you can't.
You can't.
Look, there are certain places not super cool right now.
Yep.
Let's leave it at that. I've been Wes. This guy was
Yeah.
David. We're about to get ourselves in trouble. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I gotta do a
You're
thing.
controlling the thing.
I'm doing a thing. All right.
Do
Get
it.
your finger pointed out.